Found out my wife was cheating on me. Let's get into it. Here is some of the backstory or info that is important. I, 35-year-old male, my wife, 35-year-old female. Her older sister passed away December 2019. She had lots of health problems, but obviously no one expected her to pass away. My wife was 8 months pregnant with our daughter at the time. We had just recently moved into a bigger house. Her parents was in the process of moving closer to us to help with our kids. And then COVID hit in March. So she never got a chance to properly mourn or grieve her sister. My wife and her sister did not have a good relationship. They always fought, and anytime my wife talked about her, it was never good or something that drove my wife crazy. The relationship started to get better when our first child was born in 2018. The sister was trying to get to be a better aunt. She had a lot of mental health issues as well as physical health issues, but the relationship never got to a point where you could call it good. Obviously, the loss of her sister was incredibly difficult for my wife and her family, and I was supportive and did everything I could when it first happened. As the year went by, my wife never brought her up except around the birthday and the anniversary of her passing. I would be supportive of those moments, but I know my mistake was that because they didn't have a good relationship and she never brought her up, I didn't think that she was struggling as bad as she was with her loss. This past December goes by and my side of the family scheduled the Christmas get-together on the anniversary of her sister's passing. My wife told me this day was not good for her and advised me to have the family pick out a day that works for everyone else. I didn't fight for it, so my family ended up having the celebration on her sister's birthday. After that day, my wife slowly got more and more distant from me. We had great sexual chemistry, averaging probably 4 or 5 times a week. It stopped immediately. When I asked what was going on, she said she's really struggling with her sister's passing this year. It wasn't feeling sexual. I completely understood and never pursued or pressed her any further. But we were also just a very physical couple, always hugging, kissing, holding hands, cuddling on the couch, and falling asleep, cuddled up with each other. Over the next week or two, that all dried up. She stopped wearing her wedding ring, and she stopped saying that she loves me, even after I would say it first. She's just become extremely distant, and anytime I would initiate a serious conversation about what's going on between us, she would say it's just her trying to work through her own personal issues with her sister. She would assure me that it wasn't a us thing and that she was just battling her own demons right now. I would offer to her any and all support I could, but she wouldn't open up to me about her sister anymore or what she was going through. I would beg her to talk to me, but she just wouldn't or couldn't. That was my January. By February, it felt like we were just co-parenting roommates. We barely talked. Any talking we did on a daily was awkward at the surface level, just small talk. I would ask her how her day was, how work was, how her hobby was, which is axe throwing, and basically got one-word answers. Maybe once a week, I would ask her to sit down with me and have a serious talk. I know she's dealing with the death of her sister still, but it became very apparent that it was an us problem at this point. Any serious talk we had started with good intentions and me begging to be let in, but would devolve into blaming each other for the way things were. During this, I found out that a guy she used to know before we met came into her work early in the year. She said they had a talk and he pointed out that she looked sad and like she's struggling with something, and she just broke down and sobbed and opened right up to him. She opened up and told him everything. She told me that for some reason it was easy for her to open up and talk to him, despite me begging to be the person she's opened up to. And I'm her husband. He was so-called helping her look after a new dog my wife brought home. She works at a veterinarian hospital. The dog was a puppy that was crazy destructive in our house. Between both our schedules, we weren't able to get that puppy out for exercise and stimulations as much as the dog required. He offered to take her, the puppy, while we were doing things and work and kind of split things with the dog. But it meant she was seeing this guy 2 to 3 times a week, dropping off the dog and picking her up. She started staying out late and was barely around the house anymore. When I asked about it, she would say she needs space. I should also note that at the end of January, beginning of February, she started sleeping in our spare bedroom, saying she just needs more space. That's a key giveaway, fellas. When she wants more space and she's entertaining somebody at work and brings their name up, she needs more space, don't want to be around you. That space that she's making between you and her so that she can talk to the other person more often. Every alarm in my body was going off about this guy in this situation. Our relationship was very strained at this point, and I didn't want to add accusations of cheating into the mix. So naively, I didn't speak or press it. More weeks of this go by. A year ago, I asked for a referral from my doctor about getting a vasectomy, and at the beginning of last week, I got a call that they could do this on Friday. My wife was given a gift for her birthday for us to go do this thing called Chef in the Bush, where you hike up to some point in the woods and the chef cooks you a 5-course meal. I told her with the procedure on Friday, I obviously wouldn't be able to go on the hiking, and asked her, is there any way we could use the tickets on Saturday? She immediately asked if she could just bring a friend instead of canceling. She said she was just going to bring a other friend, Jenny, who was going through some things on her own in her own relationship. I said no problem, although my mind was spiraling, thinking she was actually bringing John. She goes on this excursion and is gone all day, not getting home till about 7 p.m. When she get home, I ask her about it, and she weaves quite a tale about everything her and Jenny did and what they ate and how it was so awesome. She plugs her phone in and goes for a shower. I've never been a snooping type, but I felt absolutely compelled to check her phone. There it was, all of it, not even trying to hide it in her phone because she knew I'd never go through it. Over the months worth of messaging, telling each other how in love they are, and that all sorts of photos they have together in the past month, kissing and cuddling and holding hands. Nothing X-rated. My hands started shaking uncontrollably, and my heart was racing. My worst fear come true. I immediately confronted her when she got out of the shower, and she admitted to it. I asked if they had slept together, which she denied, but I obviously think she is lying about that. After the fact that I found out the guy I used to work with was actually an ex-boyfriend, a fact she left out when she first told me about him. Back when they worked together, he was married and she was single, and they had an affair that ruined his marriage. I should mention he is 10 years older than her. Now he's single and she was married, and they may be still having an affair. This happened 2 days ago, and I just feel so low. 10 years of my life. I don't want to say wasted because it gave me my 2 beautiful children who I love more than anything. But for lack of a better term, wasted. Now the thought of having to start over again is just so shitty. I thought I had it, the perfect life, all gone. The thing that absolutely tears my heart out through this, though, is that now I will only get to see half of my small children's childhood. Half of holidays, half of their lives, and it makes me cry every time I think about it, including right now. I'm definitely filing for divorce and getting out of this relationship. I know that was long, but I needed to get it out. If you're still listening, thank you for your time.